There are no white people in heaven.
Religion is the master key for willingly handing over vast extractions. Religion has unlocked all the doors. There are no white people in the heaven they sold to black people. And why would there be? They have already built their heaven right here using what they stole from us. The afterlife they promised is just a mirror of the earthly paradise they built for themselves with our pain, extracted labor, and land in exchange for a consolation prize meant to keep us from demanding our share of this world. The white man's heaven isn't in the sky, we built it on earth. The one he sold to black folks is a fiction, a celestial bribe to ensure his own earthly paradise faced no resistance. Economic extraction takes your labor. Political extraction takes your vote. Legal extraction takes your freedom. Intellectual extraction takes your inventions. Cultural extraction takes your art. Biological extraction takes your body. But religious extraction takes the one thing that could have prevented all the others: your understanding of who you are in relation to the divine, the earth, and yourself. Why religion is the most powerful? It captures the source code. Before you can be convinced to hand over your land, you must be convinced that the land is not sacred. Before you can be convinced to hand over your labor, you must be convinced that your body is not sovereign. Before you can be convinced to hand over your inventions, you must be convinced that your mind is not your own. Religion reached into the source code of identity, the part that answers, who am I? Why am I here? What do I owe? And rewrote it. It makes extraction feel like salvation. Working the cotton field became serving God. Accepting the overseer's whip became turning the other cheek. Watching your children sold became God's mysterious ways. Forgiving the unforgivable became Christian grace. The extraction was not just tolerated. It was theologized into virtue. The slave who internalized this did not need chains. They carried the prison in their prayers. It disarmed rebellion at the spiritual level. You can fight a master. You can burn a plantation. You can escape from prison. But how do you fight a God who told you to obey your earthly masters, submit, and turn the other cheek? How do you escape a heaven that promised reward for suffering? How do you rebel against a cosmology that made your oppressor your spiritual superior? Religion made the enslaver not just the owner of the body, but the interpreter of the soul. It made other extraction seem normal. Once you accept that your body is not sacred, medical experimentation seems unfortunate but not outrageous. Once you accept that your culture is pagan, artistic theft seems like refinement. Once you accept that your ancestors are demons, ancestral land dispossession seems like progress. Once you accept that your mind is darkened, stolen patents seem like rightful ownership by the enlightened. Religion normalized the abnormal. It made extraction feel like the natural order of things. Other reasons matter, but religion was the foundation. Economic dependency traps people in cycles of poverty. Political disenfranchisement removes the power to vote for change. Educational inequity limits access to critical thinking. Media manipulation shapes desire toward consumption, not creation. But these are downstream effects. The dam that held back the river of resistance was built first in the spirit. Once that dam was in place, all the other forms of extraction could flow freely. If religion were the most powerful tool for making us hand over our ideas and resources willingly, or at least without organized, sustained, spiritual-level resistance, then the work of liberation must include excavating what was buried. Reclaiming interpretive authority and restoring the understanding that the divine does not require an intermediary, especially not one who profits from your extraction. Remembering that your spirit was sovereign before the first missionary arrived and remains sovereign now. If religion were the most powerful tool of extraction, then reclaiming spiritual sovereignty is the most powerful act of liberation. Not converting to something else, not swapping one contract for another, but remember that you were never required to sign anything. Your spirit was your own before the first God was named. It remains your own now. This thesis aims to lay bare the full scale of what has been taken from us, and what we have created despite it. It exists to illuminate our brilliance, our innovation, and our immeasurable contribution to a world that has never fully credited us. And it seeks to make one thing unmistakably clear: we do not need their God. We do not need any God given to us by those who built empires on our extraction. What we need is to wake up, to ourselves, our power, to the contributions of our ancestors, and to the truth that has always been ours.